Welcome, one and all, to another episode here on the AP Podcast. Today we're talking, and we're going to do a little Advice with Andrew segment. That's been one of our most popular ones. And let's get right into it. On the phone, we have Gulliver from North Carolina. Gulliver, how are you?
Raleigh, North Carolina, thanks for taking the call. Andrew, I've been listening to you for quite some time. Got a question about, the gay rights issue that's currently going on throughout America. I'm a proud homosexual. My partner and I have been living together for 3 years. We've known each other for 4, and we've had a good life. A lot of people kind of in my community are very supportive of our lifestyle, how we choose to live. We're thinking of adopting a child,
Okay.
preferably from out of country. That's just how we are both kind of our mindset is working. And the strange thing is, though, when it comes to the marriage equality, I do believe that gays, and transgender, the LGBT, I don't, and I know this may sound controversial, but I do not believe that we deserve the same rights as straight people.
You don't?
No, and it's for a few reasons. A lot of them being personal. Just I have a few gay friends that they live in Iowa, where gay marriage is legal currently, and all of them have been divorced. Something just it doesn't click. I don't think with gay people. We just don't think the same as. And Andrew, I don't know your sexual orientation, but we don't think the same as straight people.
Well, I'm straight, but I guess let's go back to the first issue, which is gay marriage, and how you don't think that gay marriage is something that should be legal while yourself.
And I'm a gay person, right? And I think that even a civil union, it kind of demeans the whole significance of a marriage, having a civil union. I don't believe in that either. I believe gay people should be able to live together. Obviously, because I'm doing that with my significant other, my SO. I think that gay people should definitely be able to adopt. There's plenty of, homelessness running rampant throughout the world.
Do you think that gay couples should take on a responsibility of adopting homeless people?
I know it sounds controversial, but I believe that the adoption, the point behind this call was to more or less ask your opinion, get your advice on how I believe adoption is more suited for the homosexual. And so homosexuals kind of take the charge, take the lead in adopting more kids, more children.
Okay.
Because straight people can have babies.
Right.
Whereas gay people, we obviously cannot unless there's artificial insemination.
Unless there's some sort of donor.
So I believe that maybe adoption should be more exclusive to the gay community and the LGBT community.
Okay. Well, that's a very interesting take on the issue, whether or not if gay marriage should be legal, and two, if gay marriage isn't the term, if it's going to remain a civil union, if gay people in a civil union should look at adopting.
Exactly. As a gay person, I think that the whole term civil union, I have an equal amount of straight friends, gay friends, transgendered friends, pre-op, post-op, currently in operation of transgender friends. I think you have a few friends that get gender reassignment surgery and then they decide to get gender reassignment surgery again.
Oh.
I do know a lot of different people. There's a whole different way that the gay people and the other people think. Straight people, I love them, and I think a lot of gay people, when they get a civil union, I mean, I think a lot of the gay community is not really thinking of the straight community, really, and I think that the straight community is getting stepped on or getting trampled on because us as gays are taken away from the holiness, the sacrament of marriage. I think we are taken away from it. And I think that the straights are kind of getting upset and fed up at us, the gay community.
Well, that's definitely one of the hot button issues of this whole movement is the idea of marriage as a sacrament as opposed to marriage as a well, sort of like a civil right or
Right.
so. Well, thank you for your call. And my producer mentioned that the partner that you're with currently actually went through a double op, is what they call it.
Yeah, we gotta get a phone screener about that. Jeremee became Jeremee with two E's at the end, and then Jeremee, the woman, then became Jeremee again.
With just a Y.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your call, and we'll.
Yeah, thanks for taking me.
Yeah, anytime. Well, that was definitely a very interesting call. Gulliver from Raleigh, North Carolina, there on one of the largest issues of our time. I'm sure this is in anyone's lifetime. There's probably 3 or 4 huge national, even worldwide issues, and this is definitely we're in one of them. So it's a very interesting time to be alive and be involved in these issues. Let's go to Susan, and Susan is in Duluth, Minnesota. How are you doing today, Susan?
It's a call day in Duluth, Andrew. Thanks for taking my call.
Oh, anytime, Susan. How can I help you today?
I was just can I give you guys a little half on the phone? I'm getting a lot of feedback on my phone right now.
Yeah, I can. You're kind of loud. If you could maybe take 2 steps.
I can't quite hear you. You're breaking up quite a bit.
Susan, I can hear you now. Maybe if I talk slower.
Is that better?
That's perfect.
Perfect. I'm putting together a wedding for one of my closest friends, Jillian.
Okay.
And I'm wondering about the best finger hors d'oeuvre. Now, what I have set up right now, we have mushroom stuffed mushroom caps. We've got a wide arrangement of little tiny finger sandwiches, turkey ham, and for the Jewish people, our Jewish friends, we've got a bagel and schmear with lox.
Okay.
And we've got, let's see here, we got the little tiny pizza rolls, pizza nuggets, and pizza bagels. And those are some just little things for the kids to eat. What are some of the other things that you would suggest?
Well, this is.
I'll take my answer off the phone. So thank you, Andrew, and thank you, APPodcast, for taking this call. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Well, Susan is in an interesting position. She gets to choose the menu for a wedding. Now, I personally haven't been involved in many weddings, at least planning for them. But I would say that one of the main things you want to look at when planning for any type of get-together with a wide assortment of people, whether it's different cultures or different tastes, is you have to not only look at, it sounded like Susan had a nice mix of meats and veggies, but another thing you want to look at is the making sure some of the food is vegetarian friendly, maybe gluten-free friendly. Something we've been hearing more about is people that are allergic to gluten, and so that's something you might want to look into, Susan. I know another good option is that I recently tried in the last few months is it's a sort of grain, almost like a rice. It's called quinoa, and quinoa is a high protein grain that can be used in a lot of dishes, whether it's adding meats or sauces to it, or it can also be used like in a stuffed green pepper is the first time I had it. So Susan, I think she mentioned there were stuffed, I can't remember. Do we have Susan's sister on the line? I think she just called in. Sharon?
This is
Sharon, do you remember what Susan has that's stuffed?
okay.
What was it? What was it?
You're doing smart.
I I well we lost Sharon. I think her phone died, but I just remember now they had stuffed mushrooms. So as long as you have, like I said, a good mix of meats and veggies, as well as things that are uh, acceptable for people that might not eat meat or maybe are vegetarian or vegan, those are always good options for weddings. Thank you, Susan and Sharon. Let's go to a third call, and this is Bradley from Altadena, California. Bradley, are you there?
Just call me Brad.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
You're just hanging out. The big riptide came in a few days ago. We just been all hanging out down on Lotianica Beach, right by Pasadena. Great. Catching all the waves, checking things out, dude. I'm going into world legal advice today, big strip.
I'm sorry. What was that, Bradley?
Going into some legal advice.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm by no means a legal expert, but maybe I'll be able to shed some light on your issue. What's going on?
I was part of this film. It was called Back of the Bus 3, and they take a short bus. Let me just kind of give you a brief rundown of what they do. They
Okay.
take a short bus, for some of the specialties and some of the schools, the short bus.
Yeah.
And they throw a couple of strippers in the back, and then and then I get to I get to rub my feet all over their jelly spot.
Wow. Okay, that sounds really interesting. Kind of a unique experience. So what's
Man, I was just wondering, when we filmed it, I didn't get my pay. I didn't get the pay for Back of the Bus 3. And I'm just wondering, who do I call? I mean, I want to get, I like rubbing my feet on their jelly. And I want to keep doing it, so I don't want to be a douche about it, but, come on. I mean, I need to get paid.
right, Brad? Well, the first thing I would ask you is, did you sign any contract stating that you would be compensated for your small role in this film?
Well, there's nothing about that was small, if you know what I mean, Brian.
Well, that's funny, Brad. But when it comes to these issues, you have to have some sort of documentation stating that.
Yeah, I signed the contract with Muscle Flex Industries. They did Back of the Bus 2 and Back of the Bus 1. And they also did Back of the Bus 7. Segments 4 through 6 were to a different company. But I didn't. I signed the contract, and in 3 minutes, I had my toes around my ankles, and my knee was on the jelly spot. Those 3 very hot, blondes and brunettes.
Interesting. Well, Brad, so you did sign a contract. Do you know what the contract?
Muscle Flex.
Do you okay with Muscle Flux? Do you know what the contract stated?
It says that I get exclusive rights to my scenes. There's different scenes in these movies, and I get exclusive rights to get compensated for all the scenes that I'm in.
Well, it sounds like you might have grounds for some sort of compensation, whether or not that compensation is in the form of money, or you're gonna have to look into the fine print. You might want to find a lawyer that could help you with a possible lawsuit.
I don't know. I was talking to the director, Chet Bonerstrap, and he said that
Wait. What's his name, Brad?
Chet Bonerstrap.
Ted Bonerstrap.
Chet Bonerstrap. He did the other Back to Bus movies. That's just his industry name. And he said that I need to be a part of 4 movies in order for me to see the income.
Oh, well, now we're getting down to brass, if you excuse the expression, brass balls. Brad,
That was another guy in the production company.
why am I not surprised? Well, Brad, it might be that in order for you to be compensated, you have to appear in a minimum of, for example, 4 movies for you to actually receive monies. So.
As long as I get, I got more work lined up. I want to make sure that I get paid for Back in the Bus 3. I mean, I did a great job, and you know what I mean, Andrew. It was a great finish. It was because in the industry they call it a milking. I gotta say, I said at the end of the movie, I said got milk, and then I wiped away her milk mustache, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm not really familiar with the industry, but it seems like you might have had I don't know, a photo finish.
Mustache.
Yeah, a mustache of sorts. Well, thanks, Brad, for your call. Yeah, and I would say again, make sure to read the fine print of the contract you signed. And this applies to anything that you're signing. Make sure to read through the whole document and any fine print that you might find, because that's where the juice is milked, Brad. So thanks for your call, and we're gonna move to our fourth and final advice with Andrew call here on the AP podcast, and we're gonna go back to one of my favorite childhood people that I knew. This is my friend's dad, Big Joe, who of course is from Eagan, Minnesota. Big Joe, how are you doing?
Fine.
What are you up to today? I know we had you on the other day and you were in the middle of a lift. Oh, it looks like you're counting again. So while Big Joe is finishing his lift, Big Joe is a very interesting person that is really into weightlifting.
Andrew, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Big Joe, how was your lift today?
I lifted today.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Do you lift every day?
Hold on. 3.
So it seems like it's funny with Big Joe because he has a fear of numbers below 3. So he'll always start his lifts either at 7 or 3.
I had a big Mexican plate last night.
Where did you go to El Loro, or where was that at?
They got the new Cool Ranch Dorito potato chip abomination at Taco Bell.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm trying to test that currently.
Okay, so that's what you call a Mexican plate. Interesting. So are you working that off right now, or is that?
So I'm on the can.
Oh, you're on the can. Okay, very interesting. Big what?
So,
Oh, Big Joe is calling his wife Sue. Sue is often either at the airport. She works.
Can I get down here?
Yeah, she works at the airport and has pretty strange hours. So
Have you tried to do the Cool Ranch Taco Bell thing?
you know, I haven't tried the new one. I did have the original, the nacho cheese version, which I gotta say I wasn't too impressed
What are
with.
they doing? What are they doing?
No, I haven't tried that one yet. Did you like it?
This thing became the kid behind the counter. I didn't know if I needed to put a condom on my hand just to get the order, because this kid was queer as the day is long. And
How so?
I sit down with it, and I'm looking at the thing, and it smells like, the chip and the greasy taco meat.
Are you talking about the kid behind the counter or the taco?
Don't be that. I'm eating the taco, and I'm 3 bites into it, and I pull out a long streaky hair. Like this kid, I'm looking over at the kid too, and he's laughing at me. I'm eating the taco, I pull out this long, kid's a ginger. He's got this greasy, red head.
Wow.
I pull all this face.
Wow.
I pull this red and nappy hair up in the middle of this crunchy. I don't even know what to call it. This Cool Ranch burrito thing.
Was the kid behind the counter looking you up and down? I know you've said that before.
He was looking at me. He knew what he did. I
Wow.
went up to him, and God help me.
Yeah. What happened next?
I blacked out for a second, and I wasn't sure what happened.
When you woke up from your blackout, where were you?
My pants were around my ankles, but I was sitting on the can.
Oh, and then I called you.
Four.
4. Did you get it? Did you pass it?
Yeah, this is stringy. It's stringy.
Oh man, well, whew. I think we all know what that can be like.
That's that aerosol string cheese, Andrew. It's like that. It's just, well, you need
Oh.
to shove a can of that spray cheese up my ass. Just, like, got the box of Christie crackers. I mean, the thing, it's long and stringy. Like, I think it's just one continuous rope that's coming out of it.
Man, well, I don't really have much advice for you on that because, really, in my experience, when you go to Taco Bell, what you get is what you get. You're just gonna have to deal with this one, Big Joe, and I'm glad we called in time for you to.
I say flush twice. It's a long way to Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell is it can be kind of dangerous if you.
The flush twice, or your sewer, it doesn't hook up to their grease plug. I mean, I say flush twice because it takes a long way to get to the back of their kitchen.
Right, right. I think we all know what you're getting at there, Joe. Well, Big Joe, thanks for well, we called you, but thanks for coming on here, and hopefully next time you can get. Oh, man. Hopefully next time you can get something that's less stringy from Taco Bell. So, ooh, man, it sounds. I'm gonna let you go, Joe, and let you deal with that. Maybe get Johnny's help there. Okay. Thanks, Big Joe. Bye bye. Well, everybody, that was definitely a very entertaining another rendition of Advice with Andrew. Thank you for listening, and well, we're just gonna have to see you next time here on the AP podcast. This has been Advice with Andrew. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.